Please read the disclaimer. Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, moneymakers. XRP. Today we find out, yes, today we are going to learn if the Fed is going to reduce interest rates or not reduce interest rates, right? And there's something extra there, right? That I'm actually looking at something else that I think that could have a big factor if the markets go up or down today. So you're going to want to watch. You're going to want to watch all the way to the end of the video to find out what it is. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes. Smishity smash that like button. We got the moneymaker swag represented here. It's a little bit cold today here, raining and whatnot. They're making it out to be like this crazy storm. Here, if it rains a little bit, it's a crazy storm. So let's get into it. Currently, XRP is sitting at $2.08. So actually, those of you who watched the video last night, those of you who are still here watching the XRP videos, right? I know a lot of interest has gone down. I think I read somewhere that altcoin videos on YouTube right now are down about 70% over the past few months, the viewership. Makes sense. I'm about 50% down, I think, something like that. But it's also on me. I have been taking it a little bit easier, doing less videos. But that's, also I'm trying to, I don't want another vacation. So I'm just trying to lower the probabilities of that. But, in a month or so, when my timeout is over, I think I'll get back to regular programming. Hopefully by then the market picks up a little bit, but interesting. It's kind of coinciding with something we'll talk about in just a second. But XRP, when we were running up last night, I warned that there was that this pull up was, we talked about Jane Street and what potentially happened there. A little bit of a tiny short squeeze, low volatility, pushed the market up, and then we saw XRP basically retrace. Most of that about 4.39% down. Interestingly, Bitcoin and Ethereum, Ethereum held a little bit better than Bitcoin, about 2% down from that high, and Bitcoin also 2% down. So XRP down about 4%. Again, sometimes this happens because you could have had a situation, and most of it happened in this little sell-off here, that maybe XRP traders were higher leveraged, right, on the upside. And so when the pullback happened, more sell-offs came. And so then, we're down 4% here, whereas Bitcoin and Ethereum are down 2%. Again, these kinds of things are why short-term trading is so problematic, so risky, because you can have a situation like that where these traders, they pile in, and then when the market flips, because it's FOMC meeting day and there's high probability that the market gets volatile, they start removing risk, and then these leverage traders get their handed to them. All right. So it's very, very important to remember. Let's just look here on the liquidation chart. You see, usually XRP isn't in the top rubrica. What's this called? The top of the list here, but you can see in the last 12 hours, you have 1.93 million on the long that got liquidated. So that's what's causing this sell-off, right? It's Ethereum, Bitcoin, others, and then XRP. So that's why we're seeing, when we're not seeing here Sol, we're not seeing here BNB, but we are seeing that XRP. That means that XRP holders got a little bit too excited and got caught with the high leverage. Okay, you have to be very, 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 very careful with the high leverage. So it will be interesting to see what happens here today, right? Right now, the current probabilities for, let me find it, for the reduction of the interest rates is 83.2% probability. It's actually down a little bit. It was about 85. Again, this is maybe causing a little bit of uncertainty here. The fact that we don't know Right? There's still a 16.8% chance that he doesn't reduce interest rates today, the Fed chairman, which we'll get to in just a second, what Trump had to say about the Fed chairman and his plans for the next Fed chairman. But currently it's 83.2. Okay, so a lot of how the market's going to move. I mentioned it in last night's video. So it actually started out good, but then I don't know what's going on late night. Is there too much competition or what's happening with the algo? But I just get smushed there. I don't know what's going on. But anywho, that's why it's so important to subscribe to the channel. And ring the bell so you don't miss out on any video. I give you daily updates once, twice, maybe 3 times a day. So if you don't want to miss out on it, it's important to subscribe and to ring the bell so you get the notifications. I try to give you the best the information that I can, the latest news. Just reminding you that these are only my opinions. This is just what I am seeing in the market. This is just my experience. These videos are for educational purposes only, entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Very, very important. Also remember that I will never contact you on social media asking you to sign up to anything, to send me anything. Those are scammers, those are imposters. I'm not DMing you. I'm not befriending you. Please be very careful out there, me or any other influencer. Don't get caught on anything else as well. So what I am looking here, right? And I think that is this, okay, it's high probability that he's going to reduce interest rates. Although if you remember 2 months back, he wasn't sure, right? And that's last meeting, it was 2 months ago, the market fell off because he said December, I don't know. Well, I'm looking now is to January. And right now, January, it says, let's close all this stuff, all these ads. 63.5% that that will be a 3.5. So 3.5, 375 means that he does reduce interest rates this time, okay? Because we need to get to that level. But next meeting in January 26th, no reduction, right? We'd be in the same place. So there's higher probability now that we'd be in that area. And if he doesn't reduce interest rates right now, so then if that happens, it could be a 63% chance that he does reduce next meeting, or 11.8% that he doesn't reduce also next meeting. So this is a very interesting scenario. And it's about 24.8 that he does this time and next time. So this is very interesting. And it seems that the market right now is anticipating no reduction next time, right? It's complicated, I know, because it depends on what happens this time, okay? But it's very interesting, and I think the market is going to weigh a lot on what he says about January, okay? A lot of the quote-unquote experts, right, are saying, no, it's, after the fact, well, the 4-year cycle, it's not happening, right? We got to that conclusion. I think, you know what? I think all the people that were like, well, the 4-year cycle is still going to happen, and I fell into it as well. We should have known, because when the new all-time high for Bitcoin hit before the halving, that should have been the clue that even before then that the 4-year cycle. But we were optimistic that, hey, maybe it's the premonition that fulfills itself, and everybody thinks that it's going to be, the big run up in October, November, December. That's what we had been talking about, right? And that's what everybody thought. So it was like, if everybody thinks this, then it's probably going to go up. But then we had October 10th, and October 10th, I think, messed up everything. I really think that if October 10th wouldn't have happened, I think we would have been in a different scenario right now. But it happened. So we have, and I tell you this all the time, those of you who have subscribed and watched, over the years, you know that I keep saying, I always have the monkey on my shoulder. I'm ready for these scenarios, the black swan scenarios. I don't know what's going to happen. Losing my voice a little bit there. I don't know what's going to happen, but I am ready for a scenario that, the market didn't play out the way I wanted it to. I still have my long positions, just, short term, January, October, November, December. So we didn't have, the great run up. Is my life different? No. Is my finance different? Not really, because it's something that didn't happen. So it's basically the same that it was before, right? Is the interest down on the crypto market? Yes. That's maybe the only thing that got hurt a little bit, is maybe the viewership on YouTube, but I know that it will pick up once again when the prices start coming back up. This is how it is. people get interested when prices are either going back up or they're going real down after they went up, right? These kinds of times where it's just like sideways movement, up, down, up, down, up, down, is when people lose interest. They go on to greener pastures where things are more interesting and other stuff. And it's fine. I understand it's college and NFL season is coming, winding to an end. Basketball season is good this year. I know people have other interests, right? And it's fine. I understand, but I appreciate you that you keep coming back and supporting the channel. So there's, multiple ways you can support the channel. Easiest way, subscribe. Second easiest way, smash the like button. Third easiest way, drop a comment. Fourth easiest way is to check out the links in the description down below. And fifth easiest way is to drop a super thanks. You can do that as well to support the channel. But if we go back and we talk a little bit about what's happening, SEC chairman says the crypto ICOs are not a security. The SEC chair says ICOs tied to network tokens, digital collectibles, and digital tools shouldn't be treated as securities. Only tokenized securities fall under the SEC, with the rest shifting to the CFTC. Oh, what a different day from Mr. Gary Gensler, who was, saying everything's a security outside of Bitcoin. So this is a very, positive shift from the SEC. And again, second timeline mentality. What would have happened if we were in the first timeline? I don't know. But we're in the second timeline. So if I look at the price action and I look at second timeline, right, we could have been here or here, right down here, but we're up here. So, I'm looking at the silver lining of the current situation, right? Talking about silver linings, all the new bills that are going through on the crypto markets. Well, following a bipartisan meeting between senators working on crypto market structure bill this morning, Warner's views that getting a markup on the books next week will be very hard given the bill's current state appears to be shared by others. A delay into the new year now seems like a real possibility for the banking committee. So it seems like the other Clarity Act, and I think there's another one, is going to take time. It's probably not going to happen this year. Things are moving slow after the government reopening. So it seems that, this is going to be delayed a little bit. It's okay. It's fine. Again, if it comes in 2026 or 2025, it doesn't really matter. It just the things get done. Things change and things, get better for the crypto market. That's what we want, right? Now, this is interesting. I don't know how much this is potentially that could happen. Some people are saying that Jerome Powell's reappointment to Federal Reserve could be maybe, right? This is like really weird. I read that even if it was, they can't reverse it or something like that, but could be reversed because it was instituted by an auto pen. Besson is now investigating. I don't know. Maybe, but let's not hope that it happens. What we're looking for more right now is the fact that, President Trump is asked if the new Fed chair will be expected to lower interest rates immediately, and he responds, yes. Now, I think we might have to wait 6 months or maybe a year until we get a new Fed chairman, but they're already working. Trump is start interviewing finalists for the next Fed chair this week. Trump and Besson are expected to hold at least one interview next week before announcing the final decision in early January. So I think that even if the Fed chairman, has his ideas, if the market knows for sure that we're getting a Fed chairman that's going to reduce interest rates aggressively, then I think the market will pre-react to that appointment. And then even if, this Fed doesn't do it, the market will know, okay, like in 6 months, this is going to happen. And many times in the markets, the market anticipates the future. So if you look back and you look at what happened, for example, in 2008, we had the big sell-off in the markets, right? And then 2009 actually was the worst place. But the markets, the stock market, it started recovering when we were basically at the low point, when things were looking grim, because all the financial analysts were saying, hey, in about 6 months, a year, things are going to be better. So when everybody's like, don't touch the market with a stick, people are already, the big money, the smart money was already flowing in and buying at the low prices, and they were already anticipating the recovery. Same thing could happen here, that the markets will look at this and say, well, in 6 months, a year, we're going to have a new Fed and he's going to come in and he's going to be aggressive and he's going to, because that's what he told the president. That's how he got the job, right? And then so potentially the market could look at that as excitement. So we'll see. It's going to be a very interesting few days. I might record 2 videos today. We'll see. Just because, when I do the Fed, it's been 2 months since the last Fed meeting. Usually how I do it is I record right when we get the announcement, and then I record after the speech because things change. So I think that's how I'll do it today. And so make sure to turn on the notifications. Again, if you want to hear my opinions, if you don't, that's fine. Right? I usually don't go live because that's exactly like 9 when he comes out with the speech and all that. That's exactly when we're putting the kids to sleep and all that. So it's craziness here, and I can't go live. It's a shame. I know if I lived in a different time zone, it would be a lot easier for me to do more live stuff. But it is what it is. We'll see. Maybe in the future we'll change time zones. So that will be interesting. Don't forget to smash the like button. Check out the links in the description down below. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.